Right, Unit 2, Lesson 3, so it's multiplication of radicals, but this time we're looking at binomial radicals, and we're looking at the distributive property, and we're looking at using FOIL as well. So here's a couple of the rules that we looked at before for expanding algebraic expressions. And we use the same rules really for this. But really, if you can FOIL and use the distributive property, this is easy. So if you look at this one here, so this we have root 2, and then in parentheses root 2 plus root 3. Now in the parentheses, root 2 and root 3 are not like terms, so we can't add them. But the root 2 outside we multiply by what's inside. So the root 2 by root 2 gives you root 4. And the root 2 by root 3 gives you root 6. Now if we look at both of our radicals, we know that root 4 is 2. Root 6 isn't a whole number, so we just leave it as root 6, and that's our answer. 2 plus root 6. Same here, root 3 by 6. Okay, so you can't multiply the 6 into the radical, so it's not root 18, it's just 6 root 3. Okay, and then we multiply the root 3 by minus 2 root 3. So we multiply the root 3 by the root 3, which gives us root 9. All right? So that then is 6 root 3 minus 2 times 3, which is 6 root 3 minus 6. Now look, 6 root 3 minus 6 is how it stays. People will do 6 minus 6 here. That's totally wrong. They cannot be combined because they're not like terms. They don't have the same radical part. That's a 6, not a b, by the way. Let me tidy that up, yeah. Okay, next one. So again, pretty straightforward. It's minus root 3 by 7, so that's going to give you minus 7 root 3. And then it's minus root 3 by minus 2 root 3, so it's a negative by a negative, which gives you a positive. And it's positive 2 root 9, because you're multiplying what's in the radical by what's in the radical. So it's minus 7 root 3. And just quickly notice that root 9 is 3, so it's 2 times 3, which is 6. Minus 7 root 3 plus 6, or you can write it as 6 minus 7 root 3 as well. Okay? All right, the next one. Oh yeah, just really quickly. Here you'll see page 71 and 72. Exercise set 3C, questions 1A, D, G, 1G, so on. They're problems for you to practice these on now. So I would suggest that you go and do them immediately. Now here's the next one, look. So in this case, we're going to use FOIL because it's a binomial by a binomial. Okay? So you multiply the two first expressions, 3 by 4, 12. You multiply the outer expression, so that's 3 by 2 root 2, 6 root 2. Okay? Remember that 3 does not multiply into the radical. Then we multiply the inner ones, which is minus root 2 by 4, so that gives you minus 4 root 2. And then we multiply the minus root 2 by 2 root 2. Okay, so it's a negative, because it's a negative by a positive, 2 root 4. Okay? So, let's tidy it up. We have 12 plus 6 root 2 minus 4 root 2 minus 2 times, and remember that the square root of 4 is 2. Okay, so 12, 6 root 2 minus 4 root 2, look, these are like terms, so that gives you 2 root 2, and minus 2 by 2 is minus 4. And then just look, one last quick look at it again. So we're just simplifying a piece at a time as we go down. The 12 and the minus 4 are like terms. They have no radical, so they're like. So it's 8 plus 2 root 2. Okay, there's your answer. Okay, so just FOIL, and as we go through, we just simplify piece by piece until we get the answer. So let's look at the next one. Here, what we have, root 3 plus 2 squared. So that's, I'll do it in blue, is root 3 plus 2 times root 3 plus 2. Okay? So let's FOIL it out. Root 3 by root 3 is going to give you root 9, which is 3. Okay, then you have root 3 by 2, 2 root 3. So we're FOILing again. Then we have 2 by root 3 and 2 by 2, which is 4. And now tidy it up. The like terms, these two, so it gives you 4 root 3. And these two, 7. So it's 7 plus 4 root 3. And that's our answer. All right? Next one. Okay, we'll do this one in black just to separate it from the one above. So it's root 3 minus root 7 by root 3 minus root 7. So FOIL again. So the first one's root 3 by root 3 is 3. Then the outer ones, which is root 3 by minus root 7, is minus root 21. Then the inner ones, we get minus root 21 again. Some very rude students banging on the door there, you can hear. And then we do the minus root 7 by the minus root 7, which gives you positive root 49, which is 7. Okay? Tidy it up, like terms. 3 plus 7 is 10. Minus root 21 minus root 21 is minus 2 root 21. And we're done. Okay? Pretty simple, I think. Now look at these two, right? This is very easy, but when you look here, this, you see the way one, it's 3 plus root 2, 3 minus root 2. It's basically the same thing except for the sign in the middle. Okay, these are called conjugates. And something interesting happens when you multiply two conjugates. So let's have a look. So we're going to do FOIL again because it's two binomials. So it's the first, 3 by 3, 9. Then the outer, 3 by minus root 2 is minus 3 root 2. Then we have plus root 2 by 3, which is plus 3 root 2. And then we have plus root 2 by minus root 2, which is minus root 4. Okay? Now, because they're conjugates, watch, look, these two middle terms is minus 3 root 2 and plus 3 root 2 cancel each other out. Okay? So I'm left with 9 minus root 4. And root 4 is 2, remember? So 9 minus 2. And the answer is 7. So really what you get is, when you multiply two conjugates, you end up getting the first one squared. Well, we write it like this. Yeah, you end up getting the first one squared minus, so you get my pen, minus the second one squared. Okay, which works out to be 9 minus 2, which is 7. Okay, so if you look here, this one again, right? Now you can do FOIL here if you want to. But I'm just going to show you they're conjugates because it's the same thing except there's a minus in one of them and a plus in the other. So really what you're going to get is the first one squared minus the second one squared. Okay, so 2 root 3 by 2 root 3 is going to be 4 root 9, which is 12, minus 25, which is equal to minus 13. So that's a quick way of doing it. Because you notice that they're conjugates, that's what you can apply. The first term squared minus the second term squared. It's like a squared minus b squared. But if you did it by FOIL, just to check, okay, we'll do it by FOIL as well. You'll see the first ones, so it's going to be 4, 2 by 2 is 4, root 3 by root 3 is 3, so first. Then the outer is 2 root 3 by 5, which is 10 root 3. Then the inner is minus 5 by 2 root 3, which is minus 10 root 3. And then the last is minus 5 by plus 5, which is minus 25. Okay, now look in the middle. The plus 10 root 3 and the minus 10 root 3 cancel each other out. So you have 12 minus 25, and it's minus 13. So both ways are acceptable, but if you recognize that they're conjugates, it makes it a lot easier because it's just 1 squared, the first one squared minus the second one squared. Okay? So we just ignore this one. This was the one that we did already, okay? So there's no need to do that again. But what we do have is a list of practice problems that you can do to practice this. And it's really simple, but practicing is important because it helps it to stick in your head, so please do them.